Hi folks, hi Jim, thanks for the Facebook site. Some people on the group have asked me what sort of things I've been doing with growing mushrooms, and I thought I would just do a little step-by-step tutorial, so to show you how to not do it probably, but show you what I'm doing anyway. And anyone can do this at home. Anyone can grow mushroom cultures at home. You can do it in a still air box, which is something you can Google online to see how easy they are to build. It's just a box with a set of gloves that you can reach inside the box with. Or you can build your own what they call a flow hood, which is what this is, for $500 or $600. Or if you got an old car blower motor, you can probably make one up and buy a filter for a couple $100, a really fine micro HEPA filter. I'm here in a lab now, so I've got access to some quality stuff. So this is a flow hood, and this is 70% alcohol. So I'm just going to, I've been doing a bunch of these already. Try and keep my area fairly clean. It's 70% alcohol. Don't use any, lower than that alcohol, or else you'll end up with water everywhere when the alcohol evaporates. If you use alcohol that's too high, then it just evaporates so fast that you don't get a chance to clean anything before the alcohol is gone. So I've had good luck with 70%, and that seems to be kind of the industry standard. So these have all been cooked in a pressure cooker for 30 minutes, and that's a combination of some agar, which just acts as a moisture holder, and a bunch of different chemicals and different ingredients. I call it my jungle juice, that I think this mushroom species is going to grow well on. I've tested it before and had great luck. This is a Blewit mushroom, actually, native Newfoundland wild strain, and it likes nitrogen, so there's a high nitrogen content in the growth medium. So I'll just keep that upstream of any contaminant source, like that big bag of dirty mushrooms that came out of the forest, and lots of alcohol. Make sure you keep everything as sterile as possible. We're going to take one of these big dirty mushrooms that I've picked from the Newfoundland wilderness out of the bag. And unfortunately, don't make the same mistake I made and knife your mushrooms and end up with all these splits. I don't know if you can see that, all those splits in that stalk. Basically, when I knifed the mushroom, it caused torsion in the mushroom, and it ended up tearing the mushroom up the length of the stem, which of course will allow contaminants to go up into the stem of your mushroom and contaminate your sample before you even got it out of the mushroom. So this one is a really bad example here of probably a stock that's really full of contaminants. So I'm probably not going to use that one. I'm going to reach in here and try and find a little better example. That one has a big split down the side. It's been crunched when it went to get picked by a set of hands that shouldn't have been doing what they were doing, namely me. I crunched the stem on that one, so I don't like the looks of that one. This one, on the other hand, although it's missing part of its stipe or part of its stem, has one or two small splits on this side of the stalk. The rest of the stalk looks fairly intact, and despite the fact that it's an older mushroom and it's been picked now for 2 days, which is not something I regularly use. I try and do it the same day. I'm going to try this stock. So what I'm going to do is I'll lay that in my little work area. Try and keep my contaminants away from my positive airflow. I'm going to wipe all my hands down again. I'm going to get ready in my flow hood. I'm going to pick up my contaminated mushroom, and I'm going to try and get this thing to split down somewhere around the center of the stalk, or just off to one side of center, and I'm going to open it up into the positive airflow. Unfortunately, look at that, a big blade of grass stuck to the cap and contaminated that side of the mushroom as I split it open. I'm going to carefully lay it down, and I'm hoping that somewhat sterile mushroom tissue now they're ready to be excised. And get my handy dandy tweezers. Thanks Greg Thorne for the idea of using the tweezers as a set punch. And as quick as possible now, I'm going to get a hold of the dirty part of the mushroom. The base of where the cap joins the stem is where we sample from, because the tissue there seems to be a little bit more undifferentiated, and therefore it seems to want to turn back into mycelium again from the mushroom. form of the tissue growth. So then I drop it in, keep it on the dirty side, bring it over now, there we go, and to the next one. Don't want any cross-contamination, so we do this again, clean everything as best we can. Lots of alcohol on the tools, keeping in that positive airflow off to one side of our contaminant source, which is the mushrooms. Keep it away from the dirty contaminants. Take our gloves up again, pick up the dirty mushroom again, keeping it again in the positive airflow. Punch a little bit into the tissue, fairly sharp tweezers. Excise some tissue, drop it in, recap, and that's all that's to it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And that's basically what I'm doing, punching pieces out of mushroom in a sterile airflow into a growth medium in sterile jars, and hopefully I'll have purple mycelium running it'll leave the mushroom tissue and run out as little fur, they call it fuzzing up, so it'll fuzz up into a little fur ball, and then we'll see some purple mycelium, little bits of purple fur working its way out and through the growth medium, and I'll have a sterile aseptic culture of wild Newfoundland Blewit growing in the lab. Ciao!